Welcome back to the kitchen, y'all. It's time to make supper. Tonight we're making some chicken salad. So I'm going to start off by starting the chicken on the stovetop. We're going to finish it up in the oven. So I'm just putting some olive oil in this skillet. I started out with just the big one because I had high hopes that I could fit all of the chicken in there, but I could not. So we're putting some more in the other one. So we're going to be using a chili lime seasoning for this chicken. This one I got from the farmer's market, but I'm sure you can find chili lime seasoning anywhere. It doesn't matter what brand. This is going to be kind of like a Southwest chicken salad, so I wanted to use this seasoning. I'm just putting it on the top of the chicken, and then when we flip it over, we'll put some on the other side. You could, of course, season it before you put it in the skillet, but I just did it this way. So I'm only going to sear this chicken on the stovetop on both sides. I'm cooking it for about 3 to 4 minutes per side, and I've got the oven preheated to 375. Once we sear it, we're going to put it in the oven for just about 8 to 10 minutes to finish the cooking. That'll leave us with really juicy, tender chicken. Sometimes, when you just cook it on the skillet, it could get dried out, but if you do it this way, you get really tender chicken strips. Well, we're going to cut it into strips, but So now I'm just putting a little bit more seasoning on there, and then we'll flip it back over to the other side, and then it'll be ready to go into the oven. So while the chicken's in the oven, we're going to make an avocado lime dressing for the salad. So I've got 3 avocados. We're just going to peel them and slice them. I got this little avocado peeler, I'm pretty sure from Aldi a long time ago, like maybe a year or so ago, but other places, have similar ones. So you just use the little end there to cut it in half, and then that little tool there pulls out. I mean, you can do it without that, but it's there anyway. So then you slice it. Now my avocados were really ready to be used, so my slicer didn't work too great because they were so soft, but anyway, I got some of them sliced just to go on the salad, and I'm pretty sure I used 1.5 to make the dressing because most of the kids were just going to want regular ranch dressing. Now I'm just adding in 1 serrano pepper. If you don't want it to be spicy, you can leave the pepper out, but even with that 1 pepper, this one, it wasn't very spicy at all. Now I'm putting the juice from 1 lime, and then we're going to put some cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, you can leave this out, but we really like it. So I added in probably about 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped cilantro, and now I'm just putting in some olive oil, and we're just going to put it on the puree setting and mix that all together. Now this dressing is pretty thick. It's kind of like the avocado dressings from the grocery store, or like the Chick-fil-A one that they keep in the refrigerator department. Their avocado lime ranch, I think that's what it is. Anyway, it's also pretty thick like this, almost like a dip consistency. So I'm just transferring it over into this jar, and then we're going to start getting everything else ready for the salad. So I'm just using some black beans. I've got those rinsed and drained in that little bowl over there. And we're going to slice some tomatoes, and I have some tortilla chips that we're going to put on here since this is like a Southwestern style salad. I just have the little different color tomatoes there. I'm just slicing them in half. And then we just slice the chicken, and it's ready to start putting on plates. Now I just left the lettuce leaves whole, but you could chop them up if you want to. I was just trying to make it look like a pretty little salad plate. It kind of reminded me of a star, and also some kind of something that Aunt Bee ate on her trip to Mexico on the Andy Griffith Show. But it did look summery, so it was fun.
What do we got here, Skeeter Bye? A bullfrog? Would y'all look at him?
Here he is. Mom said we should probably let him be free. He hops.
Look at that thing a hopping. He made his getaway. This is how we go about cleaning a cast iron pan. I'm going to show you right here. You'll be surprised how many I've cleaned. This is probably the second one I've ever washed.
You don't have to put the water if you don't want to, but putting it in there for the small amount of time that we do doesn't hurt it. It's just like...
Some people may tell you it will, but trust us.
If you
how
do,
many meals have we cooked in our life, Mama? We've cooked more than one or two. You've used these right here, and I have
years,
too. I've not
yeah.
washed but two of them.
Yeah.
But
the reason, now if it, like this morning, I made a Dutch baby in that one that you're holding, okay? I didn't even have to wash it, really. When the Dutch baby came out, you can just, no, I did. I mean, you just take, what I mean is I just took like a wet cloth, wiped it out. That's all you got to do.
Right.
But that chicken was stuck on there really bad, some of it, you know, because we cooked it on the stovetop and then we baked it. So there was a little bit of chicken, you know, stuck around the, I'll show y'all on this one here in a minute, because that's my favorite one. That's the best one. But anyway, it's a good cook. Came from Ingles, surprising, isn't it? It's not a Lodge. But anyway, that chainmail scrubber, we got it, I'm pretty sure, from Walmart.
And you just take it and go around.
Yeah, it'll scrub everything off, but it doesn't mess up the seasoning on the skillet. Then you just rinse it out again and immediately dry it.
Immediately after this,
Immediately dry it with a clean towel, and then put you a little bit of oil on it. If you don't ever want to put water on, and some people don't, some people will not put water at all
like
in it.
it's in the Bible. It's not. Okay, it's not. That's not a verse. Thou shalt not wet thy cast iron. That is not there. You can search it, but it's not there. I've read it.
When I don't need to, I don't. Like this morning, like I said, I barely, just pretty much had to wipe it out from the Dutch baby because there's nothing going on. But when those chicken bits,
be displeased with that.
Yeah, but now it needs to be oiled. Since we did this part, we need to oil it.
So you just kind of do this right here, around and around.
Rub it in with the cloth. Y'all see, rub it in with
See how I do that?
Yeah, now you just rub it in.
Look at that. So
look, you can see yourself in it. Look.
All right, so these are really good, y'all.
We've got 3 cups of old-fashioned oats. We need 1.5 cups of peanut butter.
Now, one thing I can tell you about this peanut butter, y'all, is this peanut butter is good for something like this because it's really oily, right, Mama? Mm-hmm. Take it for what it's worth, folks.
Anytime he's telling the kids something, that's like his favorite.
Right, Mama? I want her to get in there and just, you know, at least give me a
Now we need 4 tablespoons of honey. We're going to use the wildflower honey.
Right there's what it's looking like so far, everybody.
Yeah, maybe just a little more.
A little more peanut butter, sissy. All right, a good heaper. That's going to do it, everybody. A good heaping spoon of peanut butter.
Yeah. Pop it in my hand. You got to form the ball.
So.
And then these go in the refrigerator for at least an hour.
No bait,
and then they're ready. But we store them in the refrigerator. After they've been in there for an hour, they're cold enough that I can put them in a bag then, and we just keep them in a bag in the refrigerator.
Folks, and if you like milk,
it's almost like a cookie.
Get a hold to a glass of milk. Yeah. Right, Mama?
You can add the raisins in now.
We're adding raisins, folks.
About
for the group that wants raisins.
About a cup.
About a cup, and that's going to be about half of what's in. Now, I want raisins too.
Yeah, well, they.
Folks, ignore me on that. I said something crazy, like they was going to withhold raisins from me. They would never do me that way, would you, Mama? Right, Mama? My family will not withhold raisins from me.
Now you can add your stuff in.
All right, y'all, I'm adding in my almonds. You know, I like a good many. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me just go in with the pumpkin seeds next. I don't know, you do this to taste or to however many you think you're gonna like. I don't, like, it's not, there's no science behind it. You know what I mean? Like, it's all in what I want and what I feel. I live life that way. Whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna get too worked up. Mine's gonna make more than 8 though. I'm just telling you.
Oh yeah, more than 12 even.
Yeah.
We could have made us.
I'm gonna have more than a dozen to all the young people out there. Think on that. You don't go into a store today and tell a kid that you want a dozen of those. They'll have to Google that and see what the world that means. If they're working at a place that's trying to restrict kids from having phones, they are in a mess. Did you put it on there where I told them people when I went into Home Depot when we were putting in the sink. I think about it quite often actually. I walked in because I bought a sink. I got it home and it wasn't gonna work for us, just simply put, and we took it back. She said, what would you like to do? I said, well, I just want to exchange this. And she said, sir, I'm sorry, we can't do exchanges. And I was like,
She can give us our money back
She
or do
said,
a store credit.
I can give you your money back or either give you a store credit. And I said, well, you just give me a store credit. And I walked over there, got the other sink I needed and came back in, and I'll tell you exactly what I did. I exchanged it. You do not go in there and have a sore throat and you're gonna have to write something down and write out in cursive, I want to buy a half a dozen.
Oh no, they don't know.
They will be looking at that like that is some kind of
Different language.
We may sound country because we are country, but we know how to write in cursive. We know what a half a dozen is, and we know how to exchange. She can even take it further than that. She can write in print. Cursive and print in the same deal. Now, I have a hard time reading that when she does that. She's been doing that for years.
Well, it's because I'm writing really fast, you know?
Yeah.
And I just, like, sometimes I might not even finish the whole word. I might just write, like, if my grocery list, a lot of times, like, if I put a rotisserie chicken on there, I might just write down raw chick.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, what is raw chick?
You leave that for people that's 40 to 50 years behind us coming up, you know? That's a recipe cooked with rotten chicken. I don't know if I would do that or not. That sounds like it could be harmful. Google that and see.
Spaghetti.
Can you eat rotten chicken?
You know, I'll just write spag, you know, spug.
Get deeper than that, Daddy. We're also going to be eating some spag. Tuesday night. It's spag night. It's spag night.
Tomatoes, I'll just put Tom, you know.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. We're gonna eat Tom. It's gonna be a soup. Those people in 2025 were crazy, Dad. Crazy. Spag, Tom soup, and rotten chicken. Those were some tough people. Tom must eat the rotten chicken, then they eat him. For anybody that's wondering, we are only joking.
We would never eat Tom.
No, we would never eat Tom.